And it is going solid. So thumb and pointer finger on here, guys. I'll get the music going on the back end. We can go ahead and get started. You'll hear the beeps, and then I'll show you the clock here in a second. Out beeps today. All right. Bring those in. We got a minute of shoulder rolls. Where are the jams? Oh, here they're coming. They're coming. There's got this guy saying dudes. Gotta skip past that. There we go. All right, I'll share it with you now. With the sound. Cool. 30 seconds here, guys, and we'll switch. I'm not loading my stuff up from. Well, 5 seconds and we'll switch here, guys. And we're rocking push-ups as our second movement here, guys. We got some push-ups here. If you can do them, this is the highest level that you can do them. So I don't want to see anybody dropping the knees unless that is literally the highest progression that we currently can run.
You're crazy.
Take your time through working into that progression. Knee push-ups are going to get completely removed from programming in the we'll see how long future.
I'm going back to TRX pretty soon.
Yeah, if you were rocking knee, if it was in person, knee push-ups would have been gone. Absolutely. Gotta take that step. A couple other tools that can help too. 10 seconds here, guys. And we're switching into that next movement here, guys, of sit-ups. So touching the ground behind you, touching the toes up top. Trying to crunch before those arms swing through. Got about 45 seconds here. Twenty seconds here, guys.
Control right now. Feel it. Space.
3 seconds here, guys, and we'll switch. On, go back in. We're transitioning into world's greatest stretch here, guys. So let's take your right knee up, left knee back. Right arm down and in, pushing off, rotating up, reaching underneath yourself as much as we can. Stay on this side here for about another 12 seconds. And we will switch at the 30-second mark.
Feel it. Space. Control. Right now.
And go ahead and switch. Opposite knee up, opposite knee back.
Right now. Feel it. Space. Control. Return. Feel it. Space. Control. Right now. Feel it. Space. Control. Return.
10 seconds here, guys, and we'll switch.
Space. Control. Right now. Feel it. Space. Control.
And last but not least is seated straddle stretches here, guys. So legs are straight, wider than shoulder width apart. Let's work out toward one side, hold for a few seconds, reset back to center, go into the opposite side. So we are alternating here, guys. Take your time as you go down, kind of hang out on that side if it's particularly tight for a few seconds before you come back up to center and reset to the opposite side. We're trying to keep it dynamic. We are moving here, but we are trying to get a little bit lower with every single repetition as we alternate from one side to the next. 25 seconds.
Feel it. Space. Control. right now. Feel it, space, control, return. Feel it, space, control, right now. Feel it, space, control, return.
And awesome, guys. Good. Moving on up, we got large circuit on the board, or the digital board, I guess, for today. I'll pause this out on my end. Load up the programming over here. So we got 4 different movements that we're going to be doing. We're going to do all 4 movements, 2 50-second intervals of each. Our chest round is our first circuit for today. So movement number 1 is going to be tempo push-ups. That is level 1s from the knee position. Again, guys, if you're able to do beyond level knee push-ups, I don't want to see you transitioning this to make it easier. These ones should be your highest potential resistance. Chins are up, shoulders stacked over top of the wrist, nice straight line. 4 seconds down would be 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd hold for 2, then up as explosive as you can, resetting immediately into that next rep. Right? Level 2s would go down on the high plank, up from the knees, and level 3s would go down and up without letting the hips sag and without letting anything, but potentially the chest at the very bottom, touch the ground. Second movement is going to be push-up hold, fan favorite of the set. Simple but not easy. Get all the way to the bottom, as low as you can, just above the ground, and holding. Try to keep that straight line as best we can, try and squeeze those elbows in and maintaining it. 1s from the knees, 2s and 3s from the high plank position. And I want you to be holding low. If you say, oh my goodness, but holding low sucks. Yes, it does. That's the position that we are working. The stronger you can get, if you can hold the push-up hold for a good chunk of time, you have the strength to be able to blast out push-ups like it ain't no more thing. Third movement, floor press. From the bridge, both heels back. We're pushing a full lockout up top, slow and controlled on the way down. Again, guys, if you have access to this, to a heavier resistance, this is our strength set. So we want to make sure that we are challenged through between 8 to 12 reps in that interval. In fourth and final one, pulse floor press. So we're going to be in that same body position, but you're never locking out and you're never touching the chest. So going from just above the chest to just before lockout and going as quick through that pace and that tempo as we can to burn it out. If you have 2 separate weights for that, that would be ideal to have like a heavier weight and a more intermediate resistance. But if you just got the heavy one, we can pull that off and I'll just give you a little bit more leeway in your recoveries. Try and take 5 seconds max though before you get back into it. And again, it's 2 times through all 4 progressions. Melissa, questions on the movements or the structure?
I think I'm okay. What's the structure? I always get confused.
No worries. 2 times through 4 movements, 50 seconds each.
Okay. I think I'll get it as I go.
Word. And Jennifer, questions?
My arms are burnt, so we'll see what the first 2 look like. Can I try the baby blue kettlebell for the presses and then maybe switch to the 20-pound dumbbell for the pulse ones?
Yes, we can do that.
Like you were saying, drop down or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, the first 2 are going to be ugly. I'm just warning you. My arms are toast.
They're going to be glorious. They're going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
They're going to be powerful. All right, guys, I'll spotlight it out over here. So I'll give you a count in.
Hang on, I got to move stuff.
Oh, you're good. I'll give you a count in when I see you're ready. You'll hear I'll get some audio cues, sorry, and then I will bump you guys in. You'll see the clock. You'll hear the jams at that point. There we go. Little Brittany. We got the tail wagging and everything. Preemptively getting ready. I guess. The first movement of 4 again is going to be tempo push-ups. 4 seconds down, hold at the bottom for 2, explosive up. I'll count your first 2 in, and then you'll use the clock as your reference beyond that. All right, so we're going to start this one up, get into position. We're starting here in another. Hold on. Timer was a little off. Rest. A semicolon versus a colon, or a colon versus a semicolon. And now we're good. 3 seconds here, guys. 3, 2, 1, and you are live right now. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, and up, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, and up. Good. Use the clock for reference here. There it is. There's the jams. You're working here for about another 25. 4 seconds down, hold at the bottom, explosive up. Good. Remember, chin's up. Looking slightly out in front of you. Big range of motion here, guys. Get down low. About 15 seconds.
Oh baby, baby, how was I supposed to know that something wasn't right here?
And now we're going right into push-up hold here, guys. So all the way, or sorry, we got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are now going into push-up hold. You've got 10 seconds to recover between movements here. So from the knee position or from the plank, this one's going to be a tough one to maintain. Get those hands stacked underneath you. Get that chest just above the ground. Get low here, guys. Reset however you need to on the way up, but try and hold depth. We got 30 seconds. And guys, resting for 10. Got floor press coming up. 3 seconds. We're live with floor press right now. So from that bridge, get those hips up high. Really pushing up, up, up with that hip position. Keeping it engaged as we go up to lockout. And then all the way down to the chest here. About 35 seconds. Got about 10 seconds of time here, guys. And we're pausing in 5. And recovering good, taking about 8. We've got pulse floor press coming up next. And right now, guys, so again, don't lock the arms out. It's 3/4 of the way up and then just above the chest on the bottom. You should be in tension consistently. This is a quick pace. If you're saying, oh, my Lanto one, that burns, yes, that is the intention here. That second round is going to be tough, guys. But pushing through, maintaining. We're working here for about another 30 seconds. Guys, 8 seconds and we're back to the top. So tempo push-ups. I'll count you here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, up, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, up. Use the clock for reference here, guys. I know that we're toasted out, but getting into position. And recovering here, guys. Good. Push up, hold. And we're getting down to the bottom of that position and holding here, guys. Hold for as long as we can. Reset however you need to. Get back into it. And minimize that recovery interval. Got 2 more movements left after this one, about 35 here. Five seconds. And we are going into floor press here, guys. So full lockout up top, all the way down. We're going explosive up, controlled, lower pace on the negative. We're trying to target 8 to 12 repetitions here. So manipulate the tempo. If you don't have the resistance to switch up, about 30 seconds here to go. And last but not least is floor press, or pulse floor press here, guys. So 3/4 of the way up, just above the chest down, quick tempo while we maintain that bridge position.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them wanna get used by you. Some of them
And recovering here, guys. Rest it up. Get some water in you if you need to, but keep those eyeballs on the screen. And we'll cover what we have for our second round, our core circuit. Going a little bit heavier with resistance here. I'll give you another 30 seconds or so, and we'll get into that, into those variations. Hydrating up, prepping, getting ready. And let me load it up on my end here again. We are rocking the same structure here, guys. So 50-second intervals, 10 seconds between movements, 2 times through 4. Movement number 1 is going to be half get-ups. So from here, heels are back. Your arms are locked out. This is your start and finish position. Without using any excess momentum, or without whipping the arms forward, you're just trying to punch those arms up to the ceiling, pull them back at the top until the ears and biceps are in line, and then reset down with control all the way back to where you started. So half get-ups here. Breathing mechanics is big breath in. You're holding, you're braced all the way up until we either lock out and exhale, or all the way until we get back down to our start position. Second movement is going to be side raises, oblique side raises. We should be going heavier here if you have the ability to do so. From this position, shoulder width apart with our stance, you keep the one hand with the weight. The other hand is going to be riding up against you as you drop down toward the hand with the resistance. So in Erin's case, the hand dumbbells in her right hand, she's dropping down as far as she can while keeping that opposite hand up against her, squeezing the obliques and coming back to neutral between them. Every 4 reps, you'll go ahead and switch sides here, guys. So just transition from one side to the next and doing the same thing. If the timer hits 0 and you still have to finish reps, then finish out those repetitions before you transition. Third movement, weighted crunch hold. So from the ground position, heels are back, weights up high, you're lifting those shoulders up off the ground and holding. Try not to really tuck your chin down and in, keep your neck up, keep the airway open, keep the neck neutral, but we are trying to get those shoulders up off the ground as high as we can versus just lifting the head position. And last one here, laying side crunches. So this one will be body weight. We'll be laying on a side. We're trying to keep that arm out in front of you so that we're not using it to help you get into that position. Your opposite hand would be up by the ears. So in this case, if we're going here, your right hand would be up by the ears, never pulling on the neck, just there for reference. And you're trying to drive your knee up and your elbow in toward your waist until we can ideally make contact or get closer and closer with every single repetition we're doing on that side. We're going to stay the same side the entire round, and we'll switch sides for round 2. Okay, so half get-ups, side raises with obliques, weighted crunch hold, and laying side crunches will be the 4 movements we're going to go through twice. Melissa, questions on the movements or the structure?
How many are we doing of each?
50 seconds of each.
Oh, 30 seconds. Okay.
Good. And Melissa, questions? Or sorry, I just asked. Jennifer, questions? Good, perfect. All right, guys. So from here, same drill. I'll spotlight it out for the first one so you can get a refresher of that movement progression. But your first one will be half a get up. So once I see you in position, ready to roll, I will start the timer on the back end. And as we are there now, I'll go ahead and start it here in 3 seconds. 2, 1, and you are live right now here, guys. So arms are locked. You're working your way up to the top of that position without whipping, nice and tight, going all the way up. So you're pulling that weight back and overhead. Ears and biceps should end together at the peak. So really pull that weight back as you get to the top of that movement. Let me show you the clock here. We are rocking 25 seconds here, guys. And we're resting here. Come back in. Next one. We're live, standing up here, guys. So oblique side raises. So from this one, drive 4 reps as low as you can. This should be a heavier resistance. Then transition to the opposite side. We're going for 4 on that end. If this timer hits 0 and you still have reps to finish out on your odd side, finish them before you transition.
She got a thin round waist and a big behind the type of ass to make her. My heart is beating, my heart is beating, my heart is beating, my heart is beating.
Got about 10 seconds here, guys, before we recover. We're going down to the floor here, guys. Weighted crunch hold. And you're alive right now, guys. So get those shoulders off the ground. Keep that weight high up against you and maintain position. 38 seconds.
I heard you been feeling lonely, but you never call me. It's pathetic. Oh, I almost gave you my devotions. You were playing my emotions just to get it. Oh,
And recovering here, guys. So last but not least, let's get on your left side.
now I'm on overload, ready to explode. Time to
Let's get on your left side here, guys. Arms out. Your right hand is going to be on your ear for reference. Drive that. Elbow toward the knee. Trying to make contact at the hip position. So right at your midpoint. Squeezing, contracting, and then resetting back down. About 35 seconds here.
but I never really liked you. I did it all that much. Never really liked you. Never really liked you. Never really liked you.
And we're recovering. We got one more time through these movements. Half get-ups coming up next. And we're live. Nice job, guys. Good. Halfway and about halfway to go again. You do that movement trying to pull that weight back overhead. So if it's out in front of you, really try and drive those arms back so it ends up right over your midline.
But you never call me, it's pathetic. Oh, I once gave you my devotions. You were playing my emotions just to get it. Oh, but the truth's so loud, no more secrets now.
And recovering, stand on up here, guys. Obliques. So from that upright position, again, keep the outside hand up against you as you drive down toward the hand with the resistance. 4 reps, then we'll go ahead and transition to the opposite side. If you've got reps to finish out, when the timer hits 0, finish them before you transition. And recovering or finish those reps first to the floor. And we are live right now here, guys, with weighted crunch hold. Shoulders off the floor. Let's get that weight high. Remember, don't tuck that chin down and in. Try and keep it neutral. Focusing on your breathing and getting those shoulders up a little bit higher. 35 seconds.
No matter what they say, let it go, let it go.
And recovering here, guys. Last but not least, let's get on your right side. And we're keeping that left arm or left hand on the side of your head for reference. Don't pull on your neck. Drive the elbow up to meet the knee at around your waist. About another 35 seconds here. And time. Woo! Big sneeze. Recover here, guys. Rest it up, breathe, and take 30 seconds or so. We got our cardio round in about 30 here. And that'll be our last one. Only difference of that final circuit will be we're going a little bit longer in our active time and a little bit shorter in your recoveries. That'll be it, minus some stretches to close it out for today. So get some water in you if you need it. Breathe and reset. But keep the eyeballs on the screen, as we'll shortly be going over the 4 movements for our cardio round. So movement number 1 here, guys, we're going with jumping jack variation. So if we have any issues with making this a plyometric movement, then you're stepping out, back to center, and going to the opposite side, touching those hands up top for half jacks. Level 2, standard jumping jacks. We're jumping wide and shoulder width apart, touching those hands up top. And level 3s would be plyo jacks. We're starting and ending in the base end of that squat position as we jump into that position up top. Second movement of the set is going to be burpees. Woo-hoo. Both hands are going to be coming down toward the floor. Level 1s would step back together, step up, wider than shoulder width apart, jump and clap overhead. Level 2s would jump back and up before jumping and clapping overhead. And level 3s would add the push up at the bottom before kicking those feet wide and jumping and clapping overhead. Third movement we'll need resistance for, we'll need weight, is figure 8s. So from here, it's offset to one side. Stance is a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to reach down, hike that high up and in, and transition the weight to the opposite side. Once it's there, squeezing the glutes, drive the hips forward, collect it in at a 45 before you push, and do the same thing to the opposite side. So if you're always transitioning front to back and doing this motion, it's going to be a figure 8 pattern in between through your legs. Last but certainly not least in the set is going to be bicycles. So from here, guys, again, big focus is going to be not to pull on the neck. So the hands are on the ears off to the side for reference. You shouldn't be anchoring them on the base of your neck. From there, we're taking your opposite elbow toward your opposite knee. The leg that is not crunching up is going out to extension. And with control, we're going from one side to the next, breathing, squeezing, and getting up to contact or as close as we can, opposite elbow to that opposite knee. And those are the 4. So get done with jumping jacks, burpees, figure 8s, and bicycles twice for a little longer interval, and victory will be yours minus some stretches for today. Melissa, questions on the movements or the structure?
I'm good.
Thumbs up. She's ready. Excellent. And Jennifer, questions?
Bicycles might be the only issue with my hip. It's hard to have one foot out. I don't understand why.
Okay.
Like the scissor kicks, I have the same problem with. I don't know.
Let's go. Well, I think it's hip flexor wise is why. If it's a little extra strain on that side. Oh, because we had been doing reverse sit-ups, so that's going to be pushing hip flexors too, just a little bit less. Let's think about what we got. What do you have next to you? Med ball there?
I have everything.
You got everything?
Yeah.
Are you in the basement right now?
Yep.
All right, let's grab that. Let's do med ball slams as your movement then.
Okay. Yeah, because I've got a 15-pound. Okay. I'm good then.
Beautiful. All right, guys. So I'll spotlight it out for the first one. Give you that call out in. Let me change the interval on the timer a little bit for you guys. 2 times through all 4 and victory will be yours. We are starting with jumping jacks first here, guys. And we're going to start it up once I see you guys in position, standing upright. And we are there now. Cool. So it's 3 seconds here, guys. 2, 1, and you are live right now with jumping jacks. So half jacks, standard jumping jacks, or plyo jacks. You guys know the drill here. Touch those hands up top. Feet are wider than shoulder width apart underneath you. Minute to go. Breathing, trying to be as consistent as we can here, right? In this cardio round, we're pushing. Especially once we get to those last couple movements, we're not holding anything back. But now it's going to be better for you to slow it down and to stop at any point in time during that active part. If you have to stop, 5 seconds max, and get back into it. And recovering quick here, guys. Burpees are yours right now. So hands coming down, stepping back or jumping back. Coming wide and going overhead. Beautiful. Repetitions looking good. We got about a minute of time here to go. About 30 seconds here, guys. Trying to keep that pace continuous. Stepping back all the way to plank. We're jumping back all the way to plank. And get the resistance ready. Figure eight's coming up. And you're live right now here, guys. So transitioning front to back, keep that weight high, squeeze the glutes, stride the hips up, collect that weight up top, and then reset to the opposite side. The faster that you can make that transition, the more you're going to be able to drive it appropriately. If you go slow, you're going to have to pull with your biceps, and it's going to get too far out and away from you. Don't do it. Keep it close and in. Nice quick transitions. Working on that for about another 50 seconds.
Put me up, put me down, put my feet back on the ground. Put me up, take my heart and make me happy. Put me up, put me down, put my feet back on the ground. Put me up to my heart and make me happy. Put me up, put me down, put my feet back on the ground. Put me up to my heart and make me happy.
You got about 18 seconds of time here, guys. One more movement's going to be bicycles coming up next in about 10 seconds. Going down to the floor here, guys. Bicycles comes up for me. And again, do not pull on your neck here, guys. Hands are off to the side of the head for reference. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. The leg that's not crunching is going all the way to lockout. And as many quality repetitions here as we can. Really squeeze and contract at the peak as we go from one end to the next. About a minute at a time here, guys.
Making me feel.
20 seconds of time here, guys. Working through. Mark your first round. Only got one more round of all four to finish. We will be standing up for the next movement. And stand on up, guys. Jumping jacks. And we are live right now. About 20 seconds of time here, guys. Breathe and working through. See if we can. Remember, touch those hands up top. I don't want to see them close. I want to see them buddies. I want to see them touching. 13 seconds to go. Then we're going to recover quick. Got burpees coming up next. And we are live right now here, guys. I know these are tough progressions here, guys. You got about 20 seconds of time to go. Only 2 more. We're rocking figure 8s next, but still another 10 to close out burpees. And good. And we're live right now, guys. Figure 8s, transition front to back, squeeze again. The more solid we can make that transition, the more power we drive through the hips. The tighter you are, the more effective you're going to be with that movement, and the more we're going to be engaged with the right muscles, especially as we're fatigued. We're almost there, guys. About 50 seconds here. 1 more to go. Last but not least, though, we got closing movement progression for the workout today. And bicycles or slams, last but not least. And from here, opposite elbow to opposite knee, unless we're modifying this progression. Do not pull on your neck. Push that outside leg to extension. Working through, guys, looking solid. This is it, last minute of time. At this point, trying to take the least amount of recovery possible. See if you can make it all the way to 0, working a tempo and a pace, 54 seconds. Finish this out. Twenty seconds of time here, guys. Breathe, work it through. Keep it moving, even if it's a little bit slow. We're taking it all the way to 0. Remember, beeps don't mean stop. They mean we got 5 seconds to go. And victory is officially yours, guys. Get some water in you. Breathe and recover it. You've earned it. Pause the back end here. Resetting. Big breath in through the nose, guys. Light pause, slow exhale. Once I see you controlled a little bit here, breathing. Jennifer's in a meditative state, throwing a prayer out. She's alive. We're good. Come back in here. Cool. Okay, so for this one, it'll be tough to do this movement sitting. So I'll give you an extra second to get ourselves upright. But we are doing the clasped hand stretch behind the back for this progression. There's 3 different variations of this movement here, guys, and it should really be feeling it in the anterior delts or the front end of those shoulders, potentially into the pecs, depending on how tight you are. But the level 1 variation of the stretch is you're going to bring your hands with a bend in the elbows, interlock your fingers, and then try and keep your palms together and push down to lockout, right? If you're really tight here, you're going to have a hard time getting to lockout. If you're not at lockout, then this is what you're trying to do. With every exhale you take, try to push a little bit more, push a little bit further until we can lock out. If your mobility is good here and you are locked out, then we can take it to the next level of the stretch where maintaining the palms together, maintaining the hands locked out, we would be lifting as high up as you can behind you and holding. And the same thing here. With every exhale that you're taking, you're trying to come up a little bit further into that position. As this is a more aggressive stretch, sometimes a little bit tougher for those with any mobility issues, we're going to try and go into phases with this. So 3 more seconds of holding here. Resetting. Let's go ahead. Come on down. Shake your hands out. Shake your arms out. Get some blood flow back in there. We're going to do this 2 more times. Interlock the fingers behind you. Get those palms together. Push down and lock those and keep those palms together on that one here, guys. If you can do that, perfect. Then we can advance to the next portion, which would be lifting. Holding. Beautiful. And 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Shake it off. And one more time here, guys. Interlock those fingers. Try to get those palms touching. Push to lockout. You're hanging there. If this is a challenge for you, if you are able to extend and keep the hands touching, then lift behind you and hold. And last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly coming out of that position. Shake it off. Breathe in. Recovering, because victory is officially yours. Melissa, how are you feeling? Questions for me?
I'm okay.
Feeling wonderful? Excellent. Glad to hear it. See that you and the pup survived it. Fantastic.
You did.
And Jennifer, questions for me?
Melissa is a liar.
She's feeling wonderful. She's feeling so good. She's like, let's do the chest round again. Let's just push
You
it.
know what? I think Melissa, if she's feeling that good, she ought to come back and do the 5 or the 445.
I'm good.
Like, I'm feeling good, but not that good.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Well, ladies, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in for the next live workout.
Sounds good.
Bye, guys.